There are definitely times in the course of developing forms in which you're going to want the user to pick from a fixed list of answers.
This video is brought to you by OppiePie's Academy.
Now, if you want the user to pick one and only one item from a fixed list of answers, you're going to need to use radio buttons. I've already set up my form here, so we can go ahead and put the radio buttons right on it. And a good typical radio button is male-female. You can check one or the other. So I'm going to again use the input tag, and this time I'm going to make the type radio. And we'll make the name sex and the ID sex. And the value will be what is returned if that particular radio button is selected. And we'll have this one checked by default, and this one will be for male. So then the female one is going to be type radio. Name again is going to be sex. ID is going to be sex, because we want these to work together. Remember, it's one or the other in this case. And I'm sure you've seen this type of thing before. So when we actually see it in the browser, we have male or female, and it can only be one or the other. So if I click one, the other one gets unchecked, just like that. So radio buttons are if you can choose one and only one option from a list. But if you want to be able to select multiple items from a list, then you can use checkboxes. Because with checkboxes, you can select one, none, or all of the items on a checklist, right? So let's go ahead and develop that inside our form. And let's just put a little instruction here to the user. Please pick your favorite bands. All right, so then we have input, type equals, and this one's going to be checkbox. Here, name, bands, ID, bands. Value is going to be the value for the individual band. So this first one will be Journey. And then we can add here using a little magic of copy and paste. I don't really consider this cheating, but here we go. Because the only thing you need to differentiate is the label for the user, which I'm doing right here, and the value that's returned. Because remember, here the user can select some, none, or multiple numbers of these really in kind of any random order. All right, so a couple more bands here. We'll do Def Leppard and Styx. All right, so there we've got our list. Let's take a look at how it looks now in the browser when we have it rendered. So the check marks don't react to each other at all. And essentially they're returned to the server that's going to process the page in an array or a list. So it'll list the ones you have checked according to the value right here. So in this case, if I have it like this, then Journey, the value Journey, and the value REO are returned to the actual server. So you're going to use these when you want the user to pick one or more from a list of items. And then when you have an either or one from multiple situation, you can use radio buttons, but they're coded in a pretty similar way. For one, the type is radio. The other, the type is checkbox.